On my first date with Cristiano, I got a little jealous. I asked him, Ronaldo, who was your first love? Can you remember her? Then he turned to me with that charming smile and said, listen, Gio, I had many girlfriends before you, but none of them worked like you.
When the world looks at Georgina Rodriguez, they see a woman who conquered the heart of the most powerful man on the pitch, Cristiano Ronaldo. But behind the glimmer of her diamond smile and the glow of private jets, there's a whisper. She chose to release a whisper about the woman who once held Cristiano's heart before the world ever screamed his name. When Georgina finally spoke about Ronaldo's first love, the cameras caught her calm face but missed the storm in her eyes. Because this confession wasn't just a story, it was a ghost, and tonight, you'll feel it breathing between every word. Long before the trophies and private islands, before the cars that roar louder than stadiums, Cristiano was just a thin boy from Madeira. A boy with holes in his boots and a heart bigger than his dreams. He lived far from home, alone in a Lisbon dorm, cold nights, cheap sheets, cracked walls. But he had something no one could steal: letters, real letters, scribbled in secret, sent to a girl back home. Her name was Merch. Not the Merch the world saw later on magazines, but the Merch who once laughed at his jokes when his only claim to fame was running faster than the other barefoot kids on the street. Georgina didn't plan to talk about her. Not then, not now. But in that one rare moment on a Spanish talk show, under soft lights and polite questions, her guard slipped. She said it quietly before me. There was Merch. She didn't flinch when the host leaned in. She knew exactly what those words would do. They would pull up old photos, half-lies, forgotten interviews, and truths that never really died. And yet, she spoke them anyway. People forget how young Ronaldo was when he left Madeira. Just 12, when he begged his mother to let him chase a dream too big for their tiny island. He didn't cry when he left. He saved the tears for the lonely nights after training, when his muscles ached and his stomach growled. In those moments, when the city swallowed him whole, he called her. He told Merch about every goal, every bruise, every time an older boy mocked his accent and called him an island rat, and she listened. She told him he'd be the best, even when he couldn't afford to believe it himself. When Georgina found those letters, she didn't scream. She didn't throw them away. She sat alone in their giant house, surrounded by things the world envies: the chandeliers, the marble, the security cameras blinking at every door, and she held those fragile pages like glass. A boy's handwriting. A boy's begging heart. A boy she never knew, but loves every night when she watches him sleep beside her. Some people say Georgina should have burned them, locked them away, pretended they never existed. But she did the opposite. She read every word. She felt the weight of Merch's name, and when she spoke it aloud for the first time, she didn't do it to break him. She did it to remind herself that the man who holds the world in his hands once gave his entire heart to a girl who never asked for a stadium to prove it. When the interview aired, fans tore the internet apart. Some said Georgina was insecure, trying to drag up an old ghost to keep Cristiano tethered to her side. Others said she was cruel, that no woman should drag another woman's memory into the fire of fame. But the truth was quieter than the chaos. In private, Cristiano didn't explode. He didn't slam doors or throw cold silences. He did what he always does. He retreated into the fortress he built out of sweat, goals, and the fear of ever being that lonely boy again. For days, they barely spoke. Georgina made his coffee, packed the kids' bags, posed for smiling photos that sold the story of a perfect home. But at night, she watched him stand by the window, staring out over a city he owns, wondering if somewhere, in the roar of engines and the hum of planes, he could still hear the waves crashing against the cliffs of Madeira. If, when he closed his eyes, he saw a simpler promise, a boy telling a girl, "If I make it, I'll buy you the world." But he did make it, and the world he bought was too big for the promise he left behind. Merch didn't wait. She didn't chase the spotlight. She moved on. She married, laughed, lived. But for Georgina, the ghost never really left their bed. Not because Cristiano ever betrayed her, but because she knew no diamond ring, no golden car, no perfect Instagram caption could bury the boy who still lives in her husband's chest. Insiders whispered that Georgina did it to test him. To see if speaking Merch's name would break him. To see if the king was still just a boy she could lose. But maybe it was never about Merch at all. Maybe it was about Georgina, reminding herself that standing beside a legend means standing beside all the broken pieces that made him untouchable. When Merch's old interview clip resurfaced, the internet held its breath. Grainy footage, an easy smile, a soft laugh. "He was sweet," she said. Ambitious, but he looked at you like he was already gone. Like he belonged to tomorrow. No malice. No regret. Just the truth of someone who knew him when no one else did. And in that truth, Georgina found her peace. Because the woman who came first never wanted to stay. She wanted him to fly. And fly he did, right into the arms of a woman strong enough to hold the legend and the ghost in one heartbeat. People saw them together at galas, at games, at dinner tables where the candles burn longer than their smiles. Some swear the warmth is gone. Others say it burns deeper now, forged by truth instead of pretty lies. When the cameras turn away, Georgina knows what the world doesn't. That's sometimes, when he thinks no one is watching, Ronaldo traces the lines of old letters locked away in a drawer no one touches. Maybe that's why she spoke. Not to reopen wounds but to remind the world, and maybe him too, that even kings need to remember they were human first. That before the world crowned him, someone held his trembling hands and told him he could do it. And that promise, however small, still beats inside every record he breaks. Every net he shreds with goals that bend physics. Some nights wonders what she would say to Murch if they ever sat across from each other. Would she thank her for letting him go? Would she ask her if she ever regretted it? Or would they sit in silence, two women bound by the same ghost, one who set him free, and one who keeps him here? In the end, no stadium can answer that, no record can erase it. Maybe that's the real cost of being Cristiano Ronaldo, that every new trophy whispers the name of the dream he left behind. And maybe that's the secret Georgina wanted the world to feel. That even the strongest love today can't kill the innocent promise of yesterday. It can only live alongside it, quietly, in the dark, beating like a second heart. So next time you see Ronaldo score, watch the way he looks up to the sky, the way he taps his chest. Maybe he's thanking God, maybe he's thanking fate, or maybe, just maybe, he's whispering back to an island girl, I kept my promise, I bought the world, I hope you're smiling. And by his side, Georgina stands, the keeper of the truth, the mother of his children, the queen beside the king, strong enough to hold him, ghosts and all.